Hello and welcome to Magic Bedtime Stories. I'm Tobias and here with me is Niklas. Today we have a really special day to celebrate here in the studio.
Yeah, we certainly do. But Tobias, what are you doing? Why are you kissing Aida?
It's the International Kissing Day.
No, you must have read it wrong. It's Puzzle Day, not Kissing Day.
It's okay, Toby. It was nice to get a kiss too.
Oh, okay, my mistake. You see, because in Swedish, pussel means puzzle. Yeah, it sounds a lot like puss, which means kiss in English. Yeah, I know it's getting a bit confused, but sorry about that. Anyways, puzzles are just as fun.
Exactly. And I have prepared a very special puzzle for us to assemble today. I've printed out a puzzle with a very nice motif, namely of all three of us.
Exciting! I'm looking forward to assembling this puzzle.
Now that we've clarified that it's puzzles we are celebrating, let me print out some exciting facts about puzzles.
Oh, that's lovely. Now comes today's facts about puzzles.
The first puzzle was made in 1766 by a British map maker named John Spilsbury. He cut pieces from a wooden map. It was to help kids learn about places in the world. Puzzles for grown-ups started being made in the 1900s.
Puzzles are a great way to get better at solving problems. When you do a puzzle, you have to figure out how the pieces fit together. It's like a fun detective game where your brain gets to think smart and solve puzzles.
Playing with puzzles helps your hands and eyes work well together. You use your hands to pick up the puzzle pieces and your eyes to see where they fit. It's a fun game that helps your hands get good at doing little, careful things.
Puzzles can be lots of fun too. They are a great way to relax and feel less worried. When you do a puzzle, you can focus on it and forget all your troubles.
There are many different kinds of puzzles you can find, so there's one that's just right for you. You can find jigsaw puzzles, word puzzles, logic puzzles, and more. So, what are you waiting for? Start puzzling today.
Thanks for that fascinating information about puzzles, Aida. I can't wait to get more into puzzle solving. Now, let's turn our attention to tonight's story, which comes from a unique request we received through our website, magicbedtimestories.com.
Yes, tonight's story was requested by 5-year-old Jamie from Brisbane. Jamie wrote to us with quite a whimsical wish. Jamie wants to hear a story about a kangaroo who becomes a detective and solves the mystery of the missing cupcakes in their neighborhood. Quite an imaginative request, Jamie. Here it comes.
Yeah, thank you, Aida. That sounds like a fun and very good tale. Let's dive into tonight's story, Detective Kangaroo and the case of the missing cupcakes.
In the charming neighborhood of Sunnybank in Brisbane, the residents were known for their love of peace, harmony, and most importantly, Mrs. Baker's delicious cupcakes. But one bright morning, a peculiar problem arose. The cupcakes Mrs. Baker had lovingly prepared for the town's weekly fair had vanished. In dire need of help, the townsfolk called upon their most trusted and somewhat unusual detective, Detective Kangaroo. Detective Kangaroo, a spry and clever marsupial with a knack for solving the oddest mysteries, hopped eagerly to Mrs. Baker's bakery. He listened intently as she explained how her famous raspberry ripple cupcakes had mysteriously disappeared overnight. With a nod and a twitch of his nose, Detective Kangaroo set out on his mission, his pouch filled with essential detective tools. His first stop was the local park, a hub of daily activity and gossip. Here, Detective Kangaroo chatted with a group of koalas lounging in the eucalyptus trees. Though they hadn't seen anything unusual, they directed him to Percy the cockatoo, known for his keen eyesight and love of chatter. Percy, perched high above the park, had indeed seen something intriguing the previous night. A shadowy figure, small and nimble, darted across the bakery's backyard. He squawked. Thanking Percy, Detective Kangaroo noted this vital clue in his little notepad. As the sun climbed higher, Detective Kangaroo's investigation led him to a nearby bush, where he discovered tiny, peculiar footprints, too small for a human, yet too haphazard for a larger animal. His curiosity piqued. He followed the trail, hopping with determination and careful not to disturb the evidence. The tracks led him to a secluded part of the neighborhood, right to the entrance of a bushy den. Inside, he found a family of possums looking rather sheepish and surrounded by cupcake crumbs. The youngest possum, holding a half-eaten cupcake, looked up at Detective Kangaroo with wide, guilt-filled eyes. Upon questioning, the possums confessed. They had been enticed by the heavenly aroma of Mrs. Baker's cupcakes and, in a moment of weakness, had taken them for their youngest member's surprise birthday party. Detective Kangaroo, with a heart as big as his hop, understood their predicament and smiled warmly. Instead of reprimanding them, Detective Kangaroo hopped back to Mrs. Baker and relayed the possum's story. Mrs. Baker, touched by the birthday tale and the honesty of the possums, quickly baked a fresh batch of cupcakes, even adding extra raspberry topping. With the new cupcakes safely nestled in his pouch, Detective Kangaroo made his way back to the possum's den. The possums, overwhelmed by this kindness, invited Detective Kangaroo to join their celebration. He accepted with glee, and soon laughter and joy filled the air as they shared the delicious cupcakes. The word of the possum's birthday party and Detective Kangaroo's kind-hearted solution spread quickly through Sunnybank. By evening, more neighbors joined in, bringing along their treats and snacks. It wasn't just a birthday party anymore. It had turned into a community celebration, uniting everyone in an unexpected but delightful way. As the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, Detective Kangaroo looked around at the happy faces. Children were playing, adults were chatting, and the possums were now part of this wonderful community. He realized that sometimes the best solutions didn't come from logic or evidence, but from understanding and empathy. Exhausted but content, Detective Kangaroo finally hopped back home, his heart full of joy. He had started the day as a detective on a mission, but he ended it as a friend and a hero to many. And as he drifted off to sleep, he thought about the day's adventures, knowing that in Sunnybank, every day held the potential for a new mystery and a chance to bring people together. That night, Sunnybank slept peacefully, united by the kindness of a Detective Kangaroo, the warmth of a baker's heart, and the innocence of a possum's birthday wish. And somewhere in the gentle breeze, the scent of raspberry ripple cupcakes lingered, a sweet reminder of the day's magical events.
What a fun wish it was, and a great story. A big thank you to Jamie from Brisbane for such an creative and engaging story idea.
It really was a great story. And you know, while we were reading the story, we completed Aida's puzzle, and it turned out super nice.
It really did. Great job, guys. Good night and dream sweetly of magical adventures.
Goodbye, and thank you for listening.